Hey folks, I'm Brad from B&T Catfishing Adventures. Well, you hear a lot of us YouTube fishermen talk about different rigs and hooks and so on, but today I'm going to show you the proper way to bait a catfishing hook. Stay with us. We're going to start out by using a size 2/0 circle hook, and you can go use the 2/0 or possibly a 5/0 hook to go for channel catfish. Now we're going to start out with using night crawler to hook up, and you see this white or tan fatty part here on the night crawler. That indicates it's closer to this part, which is his mouth, but this area is where this night crawler would hold its eggs and so on. So when hooking this up, you want to make sure you penetrate that area as we go through here, because there is a lot of extra juices and fluids that come out and oils that will help attract that fish. All right, as we feed that through there, we'll go ahead and do that. We slide this together. My hands are nasty, and that sometimes happens working with this bait. Now, there you go. You've got plenty of hook space, plenty of gap area to hook up on a nice channel catfish while presenting this delicious looking bait. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is a bait. We're going to pretend this bluegill hook here is a live bait. Now it's a smaller one, but this is still going to be the same principle. We're going to use a size 5, 8, up to, possibly a 9/0 hook on this, and it just depends on how large your bluegill is. Again, we're going to use this as a live. Now, a lot of people want to raise his fins up here. Right where these fins are, just on this side of it, a lot of people want to go ahead and hook up there. Not saying that is wrong at all, but we don't want to tear this fish up repeatedly for this video, so we're going to hook it one time. Another nice place to hook up is right behind the fins on the back side. So we're just going to come down here. We're going to go through here, and I like to make sure I go through this at a slight angle instead of going straight through. I feel like you're going through more fibers in the fish, the meat of the fish, so it doesn't pull out as easy. Now, when you're hooking this up, if you're wanting to keep this fish live and swimming, you want to avoid clipping the spine of the fish, okay? We don't want to break its spine and injure it and make it where it can't get down there and do its job of swimming around. Now, as you notice, we've got that fish hooked, and you have plenty of gap space. This right here is a size 8 circle hook, and as mentioned earlier, depending on the size fish, you might want to go ahead and use a size 5/0 on this, and that would work perfectly fine, giving you plenty of gap space for the fish not only to have this in his mouth, but the hook as well. There you go. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is using types of cut bait. Now, on here, this particular one, what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a fillet. All right, so this is a much thinner presentation. We're going to get in here with our knife, cut down the side, and we have our fillet, just like that. Nope, we're not cooking and eating this one. We're going to serve it to the fish. Now, we can still use our size, preferably 5. Again, I've got the 8 hooked up here, so we're going to go ahead with that. And as we do this, we're going to take it through the most fleshiest part, and then we're going to come back and go through it a second time in case the fish tries to pull this and it starts to tear. Then we've still got it on there. Now, as we put this on here, again, plenty of gap space to hook up. Good presentation. Can't you just smell that? Doesn't it smell delicious, guys? Just like that. Make sure there is no scales on the point of your hook preventing for hookup. All right, on this particular fish, this is a skipjack. And on this, we are going to use a larger hook. Now, you can get away with the 8/0 hooks on some of the types of bait you're going to use on this, and you can go to a 9 or a 10/0 as well. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a chunk section, and I'm using this one fish here, so I'm going to try and get off as many baits as possible as I demonstrate different type of methods here. All right, so we're going to just cut this, move this aside for now, and we're going to come right in here. Now, a real scaly fish right here, as you can tell. Now, we're going to take that whole chunk right there, and we're going to come through. Again, just like before, we're going to watch the scales. You might even want to remove some of them. Makes it easier to get in there. We're going to drop this down, and it's going to be under the spine as we pull that up. Now, the spine is also going to help keep it on the hook a little better as we pull through. Again, if you can put that at a slight angle, just like we did before on the other fish, then that would be your best option. Again, check the point. No scales on it. Fine looking bait. Plenty of gap space for your fish to hook up on. All right, right now what I'm going to do is cut a little fillet section. So I'm going to start going in here just like that. And I'm going to turn it, go down that bone, and cut through just like this. Now we have a beautiful, beautiful fillet presentation. Now, again, you can take your size 5 hook on this thinner cut. We're going to go in and go through it, and then we're going to come back through it in a different area. Right here, I do believe, if it will come on through for me. There it is. And again, clear that off. Again, plenty of area for hookup. And that's where a lot of people make mistakes. There's not enough gap space for the hook to get into the fish's mouth for there to be a good hookup. So there you go. Now you have a beautiful fillet skipjack chunk. Again, you can go to the size 5, or you can step up to a larger hook, depending on the size or the thickness of the chunk you're putting out. All right, well, this board's getting messier and messier as I go, just like my hands, but that's all right. It's all part of the process. We've now cut off the head of the skipjack, leaving some meat here. Plenty of scent right here, fresh meat, so on and so forth. Now, how we hook this up? Well, we're going to go just like this. And you have a soft part on the fish underneath here, and we're going to go start hooking it up there, and then you want to turn it and try to go through the nostril area of the fish, if we can get him to cooperate. Now, if not, you take it this way. But what you want to do, you want to make sure that you go from the bottom up or top down. And my hook I've used way too many times, and it's getting dull on me here. But we want to make sure that that mouth stays closed. Sometimes if you just hook the top part and it comes through the mouth or here, the mouth will come wide open as you wiggle it. It's wobbling in an odd manner through the water. So we're going to close it, makes it smoother presentation. When fish usually bite or swallow a fish, it's head first. Okay, so they're used to this. Plenty of hook space. We want to keep the mouth shut so it doesn't take up so much room, and it's easier for the fish to clamp down on him or swallow this fish. Beautiful, beautiful baits, and actually one of the best baits out there for catfish. If you're going for a large size blue, he's loving you for giving him this. Well, I hope everybody finds that beneficial and something that you can use from here on out. If you did find this helpful, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. I want to thank Miss Tammy for also stepping in as cameraman on that episode. Y'all, be sure to join us soon for our next adventures, because we're going to be bringing them at you really soon. Y'all take care.